station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is station. I am ready for the event.
ESA PAO, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is ESA PAO. How do you hear me?
ESA PAO from station. I hear you loud and clear. Hello, everyone.
Thanks, Sophie. We will now transition to French, and I give the floor to Christine Chapelle.
Bonjour Sophie, c'est Christine Chapelle.
Hello Sophie, this is Christine Chapelle. Well, I would like to understand, what does it mean? How does it feel to be on board the ISS?
Bonjour Christine, et ravie
Hello
aussi
Christine,
parler
very
depuis
happy
l'espace.
to talk to you from
Une
space
sortie extravéhiculaire,
too.
c'est
Well,
vraiment
an
quelque
EVA,
chose
of course, this
d'inoubliable,
is something that
d'assez
is
inimaginable, même encore maintenant.
unforgettable, unimaginable
J'ai du mal
probably.
à me rendre compte de ce qui s'est
I
passé
still
dans le
have
sens où,
trouble realizing what happened, in the sense that,
c'est une expérience qui est d'une
well, it's
intensité
an
incroyable,
experience
tant dans la
that
phase
is
de préparation que
extremely,
dans la phase
incredibly
d'ouverture
intense
du
in terms of
sas,
preparation,
et toutes les
but
phases où ensuite on
as
travaille,
well
on fait nos
as
mécanos de
when the
l'espace.
airlocks open
Le temps
and
d'apprécier
when
la
we
vue,
start working in
c'est
space.
délicat parce
And,
que c'est vrai qu'on est
you know,
très
in
très
terms of
occupé.
appreciating
Mais
the
il y a eu
view,
quelques moments
well,
de
that's a
pause
little
où oui, j'ai
difficult
pu
to do
apprécier la
because we're
vue et
very
me dire à
busy.
quel
We did
point
have some moments where we
j'étais
were on
heureuse
break,
d'être
so
là
I was able to
et
appreciate
chanceuse
it. So I
finalement
was
d'avoir
happy to
ce
be
point de
there
vue
and
assez
very
unique.
lucky to have that view, which is very new. The astronauts that have already done EVA, they say that when you leave the airlock, despite all the training that you've had, the brain rebels and says, no, you shouldn't be going there. Did that happen to you as well? Well, it's true that during the prep phase and all the time that leads up to the opening of the airlock, there is this dissonance, cognitive dissonance between the wanting to go there and working there, etc. And then there is the other part of your brain that is saying, no, it's crazy. What am I doing? Because it's not really, how should I put it? Well, humans are not made for this. This is a hostile environment. Everything is difficult. The spacesuit is heavy. That is also, there's this debate between two parts of your brain. And so I told myself, okay, this cognitive dissonance, it's there. It's experienced by all the astronauts. So I will just, tell the more negative part of my brain to, I'll ask that part to gently shut up and let me do my work. And in the end, everything works out well. I was in a very positive state of mind as soon as the airlock opened, and I appreciate every second. Were there things that surprised you that the training didn't prepare you for?
Alors, je pense qu'on a eu notre surprise.
Well, I think, there was a surprise. Well, for EVA,
on s'était préparé à tous les dysfonctionnements possibles et inimaginables.
Prepared for every type of problem, issue that could have arisen. And I think the negative sort of nominal things took up a longer part of the procedure book than the positive one. But they list every possible concern, and we had all of them during our EV, and so that was pretty impressive. But thankfully, we're a very tightly knit team, and we're able to overcome all of this, and we had a very positive state of mind and just keep going. And so that was something that was a really important teamwork that helped and prep as well. And then one more story I can tell you, which really surprised me. When I returned to the ISS, and the team took my helmet off and opened the space suit, and the feeling I had was the same as when I got into the space station for the first time, and with the smells and everything. So that surprised me. How do you feel afterwards? Does your body suffer, because physically it has to be very exhausting, right? Well, yes, it's true. It's real physically challenging in EVA, and there are several days of preparation. You have to be in a good physical shape and form, and you really be in good shape on the day off, and everything is thought through together with the teams, with your sleep, your food, nutrition. It's all worked through with those experts, and afterwards, you feel sort of pain everywhere, and your body works hard every time you hold something in your hand. Well, it's a lot of effort. So yes, the body feels like it did a very big effort. And maybe as an example, well, it's as if you were in a very big major car accident and you were very tense, and then the next day you feel tense all over. Well, that's the feeling that you have the day after. That's physical, but mentally, I mean, you're very happy to have experienced this, and now we are in the debrief phase to assess what we're going to do next, but generally, it was good. I understand that you were not able to finish everything that you were planning to do during the spacewalk. That's correct. That's what's being discussed right now. It's good that it's coming up now, but it's being decided now. But we are ready, and we have a lot of work to do to make sure we are able to reassess everything, and with all the problems we had, with all the technical the equipment, well, hopefully we will be able to rectify, and it will work next time well. Were you able to see our poor friends ravaged and by the fires?
Alors, ce qui est sûr, c'est qu'on voit tous les champs qui sont jaunes.
Definitely, you can see the yellow fields, and in the summer, France is not the same color as in other seasons, and it's kind of dry. And yes, you can see huge clouds and smoke, and that's very impressive. And despite what you say, we're not really outside everything, because I really feel for the people who are helping fight these fires. And actually, on my checklist, on my list that I had like a message during the EVA to do. It'll come out later, but I had a message of thanks for the heroic works that the firefighters are doing that I had on my arm.
Est-ce que tu as hâte de rentrer?
Are you in a hurry to go home? Sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Are you in a hurry to get back to Earth?
Ah, c'est gentil, merci pour la question.
Nice. So thank you for the question. Well, actually, at this point, I'm fine here right now at this moment, but I'm telling myself that, when I get back on Earth, I will be happy to kind of reunite with things that I like on Earth, but then, on Earth, I will probably be missing things that I like here. So really, my philosophy is to kind of be where I am and to appreciate the current moment. So I will appreciate the return to Earth in several weeks as well. Thank you very much, Sophie, and have a good stay up there.
Merci Christine, à bientôt.
Thank you, Christine. See you.
Thank you, Sophie. We now hand the floor over to Quentin Benoit.
Bonjour Sophie et bravo pour.
Hello, Sophie. congratulations on your first EVA. First question, how do you prepare for a spacewalk like this?
Bonjour et merci pour cette
Hello.
question. En fait, la
Thank you for
préparation
this question.
psychologique, mentale,
Actually, the psychological, mental
cognitive,
preparation,
physiologique,
cognitive,
physique, etc.,
physiological,
elle
physical,
inclut tout en fait. Déjà, on a des équipes qui
actually,
nous
it
épaulent.
encompasses
On est
everything.
loin
Well,
d'être
we
tout
have
seul.
teams
On a
that
des
support
équipes,
us. We're
et y
not
compris de, parce que la
alone.
question c'était surtout
We
pour la
have
préparation
teams
psychologique.
because the question was
On a des
about the
psychologues qui nous aident
psychological
et qui nous
preparation.
posent
We
les bonnes
have
questions
psychologists who
pour nous
help us,
préparer
who
un petit peu
ask
à
us the right
tous les cas de
questions
figure qui
to
pourraient se passer.
prepare us for
Et puis on
all
parle aussi
the
beaucoup avec
situations that
les
could
équipes avec lesquelles on
occur.
travaille,
We
les
also
flight
talk
directeurs,
a
les
lot
personnes
with
qui
the
vont
teams
nous
with
guider à
whom
la
we
voie, etc. Et puis Annie et
that
moi,
we work
en
with, the
l'occurrence,
directors,
on s'est
with
préparé.
everyone,
On
and
se
so
prépare
we are
à tout ce qui pourrait se
ready.
passer
We get ready
et
and we
sur
get
tous les cas
prepared for
conformes en
everything
fait,
that could
toutes les
happen,
éventualités.
and
Et puis sur
especially to all the
préparation mentale et
issues
psychologique,
that
en fait,
might
moi, ce que
arise.
j'aime bien
And
faire à
in
chaque
terms
fois que
of
je fais quelque chose
psychological and
de risqué dans
mental
ma vie, et c'est
aspects,
arrivé
well,
quand même
I've
quelques fois
done
maintenant,
other
entre
risky
quand je faisais de la
things
recherche et
in my
sauvetage en
life.
Afghanistan ou en pilote
I,
d'essai,
I,
voilà, il y a des
I
fois où
did
j'ai
search and
vécu
rescue
des phases
missions in
intenses de
Afghanistan
missions
before, and
risquées, on
there
va dire.
were
Et
intense
à chaque fois, pour moi,
and
en
risky
phase de
missions. And
préparation, c'est
every time, for
détecter
me, the prep phase
essayer de
was
trouver, de lister
and
toutes les petites
consisted
choses
of
où il pourrait y
trying
avoir
to find
un
all
petit
the
incendie qui
small
s'allume dans mon
things that
cerveau et le
could
cerveau qui se dit, oh là là, pas normal
start
cette fois
like a
surtout
fire
derrière,
going in
comment on va faire. Et en fait, lister
mind,
tous ces
like
cas-là
what
et de
is,
dire à
how
chaque
do
fois,
I
bon,
deal with
ça,
it? And
finalement, j'ai
so
une réponse
really
pour ça, ça,
I would
voilà
tell
comment ça
myself, for
peut
this
se résoudre, ça,
I respond like this.
ben, on
In
attend
this
vos
situation I
débriefings, etc.,
respond
etc.
like this,
Et puis,
and
ben, en fait, ce travail, pour moi,
etc.
ça
And
marche,
so
chacun a ses petits
this
trucs.
work for me,
Pour moi, ça
it
marche. Et
works.
puis, en fait, quand
And
j'arrive et que je sens qu'il y
when
a quelque chose
I
d'impressionnant
am there
du
and
coup, qui se
I
présente à moi, c'est
see and feel that
respirer un coup,
there is
mais je connais la
something major
personne.
that's
Et
happening, I
voilà,
tell myself, okay,
c'est mon
breathe,
petit travail.
and
Mais voilà,
I tell
on est
myself,
chacun
you know
différent,
the
chacun a ses
procedure,
petites
so
méthodes. Mais
do
ce qui est
that. So
sûr,
we
c'est qu'on
are
a
all
une grande
different. We
équipe
all
qui
have
nous
our
aide.
methods and tricks, but really, it's important to remember that the team that helps us. So for this EVA, what do you remember of it, and what are your memories?
Ce que je retiens de cette sortie, c'est que
Well, what do I remember of it?
je suis contente qu'on ait fourni un travail mais colossal.
That I am happy
dans les 3 week-ends qui
that
précédaient, on a travaillé tout le temps
prepped
d'arrache-pied pour
hard,
justement essayer de se
including
préparer à
3
tous
weekends
les cas
prior.
possibles. Finalement,
And
on les a
we
tous
worked through all the possible scenarios, and
voilà,
really
ça, je
we
retiens
had
ça,
most
c'est
of them.
qu'en équipe, on est solide en fait.
And we are a
Et
very
puis
solid
l'équipe qui nous
team,
soutient derrière,
and the
même si
team
on
that
n'est
is
que 2
supporting us,
astronautes dehors en
even
scaphandre,
though
il y
it's
a
just
une
the
équipe
two of us
d'une centaine de
astronauts
personnes derrière
outside, there are hundreds
dans
of
les salles de
people
contrôle
that
et qui
are
sont là à
supporting
donner
us in
leur
control rooms,
expertise,
that are
des experts
there
devises, des
to
experts
share their
d'électrique,
expertise.
l'expert médical, l'expert du
There is an
scaphandre,
expert in the
voilà, il y a un expert
medical,
pour chacun des
and
domaines et
a
qui était
spacesuit,
prêt à dire bon, la
expert,
solution c'est ça
an
et du
expert
coup le flight directeur nous donnait la
in
solution
electrical
et
aspects,
l'adaptation. En fait,
experts
quand on est très très préparé, du coup on peut s'adapter en équipe. Ça,
in
ça,
everything.
c'est
So
vraiment
if
quelque chose
you're
qui marche.
very well
Après, sur l'aspect
prepared, then
personnel, moi
you can do
je
anything. And
retiendrai que c'est une
personally,
expérience,
what
comme
I
le
will
dit
remember is
Jean-Chrétien,
that this is an
qui
experience.
dépasse transcendantale,
Like
qui
Jean-Christian
dépasse
says,
tout ce qu'on
it's a
peut imaginer.
transcendental experience.
Je retiens
It
aussi
goes
que
beyond
la première
whatever
fois
we
que j'ai
can
vu Annie le bout du
imagine. I
bras
also
robotique,
remember the
qui était
first
dans le noir
time I saw the
spatial
robotic
sur fond
arm that was
d'étoiles,
like in the
c'était juste
black
impressionnant. Et là, on
void
se
of
dit
the
waouh,
space.
c'est à la
That
fois
was
magnifique
amazing.
et à la
It's
fois très impressionnant.
magnificent
Et
as
puis à un
well
moment
as
aussi, j'ai vu un lever
impressive.
de lune avec en
It
fond
both
le
at the same
dragon.
time. And then I
Et là,
saw the
voilà, une seconde de doute
moon
pour
rise,
l'observer et
and
après il
the
fallait revenir à
dragon
ma
too.
tâche. Mais quand je l'ai
Anyway,
vu, j'ai fait
and
waouh,
I
c'était
had a
très beau.
second to see all
Donc
that,
je me
and then I
souviendrai
had to go back to
de ces
my
images
task at
très
hand. But
longtemps. C'était
these images definitely will stay with me. You were already saying this, but what were the issues, and what did you do to adapt to them?
En fait, pendant cette mission,
Well, actually, during this mission, we had some bolts that didn't want to be bolted, or screws that didn't want to screw, and then things that were supposed to be connecting but didn't want to connect. We also had some electric adapters that got disconnected from the plastic parts that they were supposed to be attached to. But every time we'd find solutions, and then in the end, the antenna that we had to replace, well, we put it
dans un espace temporaire,
sort of in storage, sort of in a temporary space while we wait for the new one. So all of this,
c'est exactement quand
well,
les mécaniciens le savent très bien. Il y a la théorie, well, then,
le couple de the mechanics know it very well. You have theory, but then you have practice. Something, a bolt doesn't work. So you have to just adapt. And so we had to adapt, and that's what we did. And in the end, what happened was that we were feeling safe the whole time. And then we got back inside the ISS, and essentially we did part of the mission, but with all the problems that we had, we, still feel that, that's what kept it, and that's what's important. Can you talk a bit about the efforts that you expend in space, and are you ready for the ESA spacewalk on Tuesday? Okay, I couldn't hear the first part of the question. The effort that you expend during a spacewalk, like the physical effort, how does it feel?
Alors, une sortie extravéhiculaire, c'est un effort physique.
Well, an EVA is a serious physical effort. I never imagined it that way. So you put the spacesuit. So essentially, you put the spacesuit around 9 or 10 a.m. local ISS time, and then we got out of it around 7:30 p.m. And so between 9 and 7:30, we only had 1 liter of water for the entire duration, and yet we did a physical effort that was significant, and we only had 1 liter of water. So that required a very special type of preparation. And just like for the marathons, you do, you take something the night before so that your muscles have enough glycogen, but not too much, so that you are not feeling sick. The breakfast has to be more serious than usual, but not so much as to make you sick. But so that's for the marathon, and in the EVA case, there is that, the extra being of space. And then then there is the pressurization of the spacesuit, and so every movement is difficult. And so, for example, if I was holding the mic and I was in a spacesuit, and it would require much more effort than I'm expending right now. I'm still, feeling kind of rough body. So yes, I will be ready for the next EVA on Tuesday. NASA will be deciding on the program for next Tuesday, but in any event, I'll be ready. You're the first French astronaut who did an EVA. So, but there are others who have done it generally. So, does your experience match those of the others? What do you think of that? So, I'm going to start with the second part of the question. Yes, I think that the experience, what I felt was similar to what they felt. It's something that is absolutely extraordinary that you can't imagine, and so you only understand it once you've experienced it, and it's really hard to describe too. And then
une
I'll
sortie
give you an
extra-véhiculaire. Vous savez,
example.
quand vous allez
An
au bord d'une
EVA, you know,
falaise et
when
vous êtes
you
dans une voiture et vous voyez
going
le
like on a
précipice,
cliff
c'est joli.
and you
Il y a un
see
beau
how
paysage en
far
fond, mais
down
c'est
it
juste joli.
goes.
Vous
It's
restez dans la voiture,
beautiful
c'est
down
joli.
there, but you still
Sortir en
stay,
sortie extra-véhiculaire,
there.
c'est
You
comme si à
still
ce moment-là, vous décidiez de sortir
so
de la
it's a
voiture
little
et vous
bit
voyez le
like
précipice là,
an
juste
EVA.
sous vos pieds,
Like
sans
on
barrière, sans rien du
EVA,
tout.
it's sort of
Et
the
donc ça fait un
same,
peu
but
ça le ressenti
you,
quand
for
on part
example,
en sortie
in my
extra-véhiculaire. On
example,
voit
you
la
were in the
Terre qui est
car,
juste
but in
là
the
sous nos
EVA,
pieds.
you
C'est
get
pas du
out
tout
of the
la même
car
chose
and
que
like,
de voir
look.
la Terre depuis la cupola
But
avec les fenêtres dans
so
l'ISS.
seeing
Ça
the
vous donne vraiment l'impression
from
d'avoir enlevé
the
plein de barrières de
ISS
sécurité.
is
Mais
not
on
the
a quand même le
same as
scaphandre qui nous
seeing
protège et on sait
Earth
c'est
when you are
notre
in the
vaisseau spatial
EVA.
finalement.
It's like a lot
Donc
of
pour ça, je
things
pense que
that
le ressenti
all the
était très
guardrails have
similaire
been removed
aux
too, even
autres
though you
sorties
still
extravéhiculaires
feel safe.
des
So
astronautes.
in that sense,
Sur le
I
fait
think
des
our
chiffres et d'être
EVA
la première
felt
française ou
similar
la cinquième,
to what others
pas
had
la première française ou
experienced in
cinquième
terms of,
personne française à faire une sortie
whether I'm
extravéhiculaire.
the
Les
first
chiffres
French woman to do an
m'impressionnent
EVA or
un
the
peu,
fifth
donc
French
mon
person to
habitude, quand les
do
chiffres
an
m'impressionnent trop,
EVA. I mean,
j'essaye de
this
me
is
concentrer sur
sort of
l'expérience
amazing,
vécue
of
plutôt que
course,
sur les
but when I
statistiques et les
feel too
chiffres.
amazed, I try
Et
to
puis voilà, je me
concentrate
dis
on
que
the thing at
ça
hand
fera
and
des
not
choses
on
à
the
raconter à mon
statistics. And so
retour, des
I,
choses à transmettre à mes petits-enfants et puis à tous ceux qui
say,
voudront
well,
écouter
it's
mes
something that
histoires
I'll
quand je serai de retour.
tell people about when I get back or talk to my grandchildren about. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sophie.
Have
We are
a
now
good rest
done
of
with
this
this
day.
Merci
event.
beaucoup. Ok, juste un message pour remercier très
Just a little
chaleureusement
message to
TF1 et Le
thank
Figaro de relayer le
very
message.
warmly
Je suis ravie
TF1
que mon
and
équipe travaille
Le
avec vous. J'ai
Figaro.
hâte de vous
I'm
voir au retour. Je pense
very
qu'il y aura
happy as
plein de choses à
usual to be
raconter encore
working
au
with you.
retour.
I'm sure we'll see
Donc
each other
merci
when
à
I
vous.
get
Thank you very
back.
much also
We
to
have a
all the
lot of
teams for
nice
running this
things to
event.
see,
It's very
to
important for
tell
us
each other.
to share our experience and to share the unique perspective that we have on beautiful Earth. So thank you to everyone contributing to this. Bye.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications. And Sophie, we have 40 seconds to LOS. We'll give you big picture JSL words after the short handover.